Hi everyone, it's Monica, and welcome back to Tailor-Made Cards for You. Well, I want to wish everybody a happy new year, and hopefully you all had a wonderful holiday season. I thought I would start out the new year by sharing with you one of the creations I made as part of the design crew over with Canvas Corp Brands. So one of my crafting goals for 2017 is to create more mixed media and altered items. So I thought I would start out the new year by decorating up this craft frame I picked up over the holidays. The paint that I'm using is from Tattered Angels, and it's the Decor and DIY paint. This line comes in a variety of colors, but the color that I chose to use for my picture frame is ebony. Now, while covering my picture frame, I didn't take a lot of care toward the front of it because I planned on actually adding some designer paper. The only part of the frame that was going to show was the back. So I took more care when I actually painted the back portion of the frame versus the front portion, which was going to get covered. The paper that I'm using is from Canvas Corp Brands, and it's part of their Valentine's collection. The design is called Paris Hearts on Ivory, and it is a wonderful print. It is so romantic, and it makes a wonderful cover for the picture frame. I traced the length and the width of the picture frame onto the back portion of my designer paper, and then I also traced the insert where the picture will actually go. Then, using my pen blade, I created a big X from each corner. Once I had a nice cut, I then took my scissors and I cut the insert out, and this is where the picture will actually show through. The adhesive that I'm using is Perfect Paper Adhesive, also known as PPA, but I think any type of decoupage paste would work. You just want to make sure that you adhere it nicely around all parts of the frame so that way none of your paper will lift up. Once I had the paper positioned exactly where I wanted it, I used my brayer to roll over the paper and push out the excess glue that might have remained underneath. Now, even though I did cut the paper out to match the measurements of the frame, I still did have some overlap. I wasn't really too concerned about this because I was able to take my pen blade, or you can use an X-Acto knife as well, and I was able to trim off some of the excess fairly easily. I also used a file to help trim off some of the edge. Once I had all the edges trimmed, I took some walnut stained distress ink and I used it on all the edges of the picture frame. I used it on the outer edge as well as the inside where the insert of the picture will go, and this really gave it a nice vintage look. Now I went back and forth with the sentiment that I was going to put on the left side of the frame. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use stickers or some stamping, but I finally settled on this stencil and some texture paste. I was trying to go for a subway art look, or more like an urban street art look, and I thought the lettering on the stencil really fit nicely for that type of design. The Filmstrip Ribbon is part of the Tim Holtz Ideology collection, and I thought it was a nice addition to the picture frame. Once I cut out my desired size, I did run it through my Xyron machine to turn it into a sticker. For added embellishment, I decided to add some remnant rubs to the film strip along with some of the areas on the actual picture frame. These are also from the Ideology Tim Holtz collection, and I also used an old set that I had from Seven Gypsies. This paint set that I'm using is from Tattered Angel's calendar paint system, and this set is from the Valentine collection called Roses. Each calendar paint system comes in 4 1-ounce paint sets, and the 4 sets that I'm using today is a Glimmer Mist called Valentine Pink, a Glimmer Glaze called Plumera, Glimmer Mist called Be Mine, and Glimmer Glam called Roses Are Red. What is really nice about these calendar sets is you can get a set with matching colors to match the occasion on the calendar. And because this is a February calendar paint system, it has some wonderful colors for Valentine's Day cards and projects. Now with any project, hindsight is 20/20, and had I done this picture frame over again, I probably would have mixed my Glimmer Glam with my texture paste and colored the texture paste first. Painting it after the fact was a little bit more difficult, and I was able to accomplish the task, but I think adding the color to the texture paste before I used it on the stencil probably would have been a lot easier. Now it may stain up your stencil, so you want to make sure that after you do add your texture paste, and if it does have some ink inside of the paste, that you do wash up that stencil fairly quickly, so that way you can get some of that texture paste off and it doesn't stain up your stencil. Now as a finishing touch, I did use my distress crayon to add a bit more grunge to the picture frame. I colored in portions of the stencil that needed just a little bit more color, and then I added streaks of the crayon along the cardstock and smeared it ever so slightly with my finger. Once I completed the final touches with the paint and the distress crayons, I did add some heart stickers, and I did use my glue gun to glue down the roses and the leaves. This finished off my picture frame. So I hope that you've enjoyed my very first video in 2017, and I've somehow enticed you to stick around for a while. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you head out. As always, I will leave a list of all the products that I've used to create this project, along with some links to the stores. Feel free to leave a comment, as I love to see your feedback, and let me know what you thought of my project today. If you've enjoyed the project, don't forget to hit that thumbs up before you head out. And as always, I appreciate you supporting my channel, and I hope to see you back again real soon. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you again next time.